Okay. Oh, my live is not working for Instagram.
My live is not working either.
Okay, let's see. All right, well, we are live. Welcome, mystery and thriller fans. I'm your on-air host and author, Sara DiVello, and I am so excited to welcome back tonight the incredible New York Times best-selling author, Danielle Trussoni, writing today under her very mysterious pseudonym, Madame Postel-Vinay, here to give us the inside scoop on her brand new book, Murder Most Delicious, which is out tomorrow. Danielle, welcome back, mon ami. Tell us about this book.
Sarah, merci beaucoup. C'est un vrai plaisir d'être ici. We're going to do the whole thing in French, right?
Oui. Tell us about this book, my friend.
I will. So this novel, as you heard from Sara, I'm writing under a pen name, Danielle Postel-Vinay, which is actually my married name. So there is some legal status out there somewhere with this name.
Like this story.
Yes. It's my cover when I'm out doing espionage and various other things. And I wanted to write a murder mystery. Like I normally write thrillers, as you know, and I wanted very badly to write a murder mystery. And I also wanted to write a murder mystery set in Paris, full of food and wine and friendship. And I decided that using Danielle Postel-Vinay would be a much better fit because it's French. It's my French husband's name. So basically the summary of the book, or like what it's about, is a American woman who is a sommelier. And she's not just any sommelier, she is a master sommelier, which is the top of the top, loses her sense of taste during COVID, which is, as you can imagine, that's an annihilating series of events to happen because she lost her livelihood, her job, everything that she was good at, but she hid it from her boss. And I'm not giving too much away to say that she gets fired. And then she goes to Paris because she's invited to sort of audition for another sommelier position at a very famous French bistro with a celebrity chef named Jacques. Very, very sexy celebrity chef named Jacques. And as they're standing at this table with 6 glasses of delicious Burgundy wine in front of them, Jacques picks up a glass and takes a sip, and he dies. He's been poisoned. And this thrusts Olivia into this murder mystery, really. Like, she's the primary suspect, and she has to clear her name. So she becomes friends with basically the whole neighborhood crew, all of Jacques' friends, who quickly realize that she's not guilty, and they help her solve the murder.
Well, just like that, I think you had me at Paris, Danielle Trussoni, Postel-Vinay, and I am so excited to dive into this delicious golden age whodunit with you. I have so many questions. We had questions submitted in advance, and I can't wait to get to our audience questions. So, friends, we are broadcasting live to a record-breaking 10 destinations across Facebook and YouTube, and tonight Instagram. So we are launching that today. So no matter where you are watching from, you are in the right place. It is the right time. It is Mystery Monday, because Mondays can be murder. We're going to get your week off to a killer start and make it a little less painful. So if you've been here before, you know the drill. And if you're new, here's the drill. Every Monday, I give you my handpicked featured authors, and you get to ask them anything. So ask Danielle about this mysterious pseudonym. Is she on the top 10 FBI most wanted list? About her French. Yes, she does parler français. Ask her about Paris. Ask her about this character. Ask her anything that you want to. And you guys, I'm so excited that we're launching the Mystery and Thriller Mavens pre-order campaign today. So when you order today from Murder by the Book, our partner in crime, you get Danielle's secret family cannelé de Bordeaux recipe. You get a matched wine and cheese pairing card, and you get a signed in French bookplate, which is a custom mystery and thriller Maven's bookplate. All of this is custom made. Yours truly, Sara DiVello, designed it. So be sure and order. And if you're wondering where to order, well, I'm so very glad that you asked. I am going to drop the pre-order link right into the comments as we speak. Now, as you are all, and I'm going to pop it up so we can all see it. Okay, so no matter where you're watching from, there is the link. Okay, now I see we have friends jumping in. So Robin is joining us from sunny Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. You do it. That sounds super French.
Coeur d'Alene. I have to put my glasses on. Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene. Oui. Coeur d'Alene. Bonjour, Robin from Coeur d'Alene. Thank you so much for joining us. Randy is joining us. Hi, Randy. So good to see you. Oh my goodness. We have Margaret joining us from YouTube. She says, I love hearing about Paris. I am going back in September. It's my first time in ... many moons. LOL. Well, Margaret, may I suggest your matched? There's wine and cheese pairing and there's book and travel pairing. This would be a good book for you to read in Gay Paris. So
definitely.
Robin is saying, my food friend, Grace, had the same COVID affliction, loss of taste. Oh my God, I hope she wasn't a sommelier.
I hope so too. It's pretty terrible.
John is joining us from Northeast Ohio. Hi, John. Welcome. And okay, Margaret would like to know, what is your favorite park in Paris?
Oh my goodness, that's such a hard one. So when I walk in Paris, I walk everywhere. So I think that like when you're in New York or when you're in other places, you like go to the park and walk in the park and spend time in the park. But I feel like the entire city is kind of like a park because it's so walkable and there's so much to do. I love the Tuileries outside of the Louvre, which has these sort of beautiful sculpted hedges. And so I guess that's probably my favorite place, that's the park. There is, so in the book, in Murder Most Delicious, it's set in a tiny little neighborhood right behind the Eiffel Tower. And the Eiffel Tower, if anyone has sort of hung out at the Eiffel Tower, you'll know that there's like a park, right? Like there's this big, the Champ de Mars, it's called, this big like swath of green where people put down blankets and have wine and sit under the Eiffel Tower. And I also really love that place. I spent quite a lot of time there.
Now, Danielle, thank you for those park recommendations. Now, that actually brings me to one of my questions, because the neighborhood that this book takes place in, is a real place, and B, you have a personal connection to. Tell us about this sweet little neighborhood, which I now must live in so that I can go to Chantel's flower shop and Jacques' bistro, even though tragically Jacques died.
Jacques is no more.
Jacques is no more, but his food must live on. So tell us about this very real neighborhood and your connection to it.
So as I mentioned, it's this tiny little like triangle behind the Eiffel Tower. It's called Gros Caillou, and it's really maybe like 15 or 16 streets. And every summer, my husband is French. That's how I have this French last name that I can use for this book. Every summer we go to Paris together, and his parents live not in that neighborhood, but in an adjacent neighborhood very close by. So I would get a book or a notebook or whatever, and I would walk to that neighborhood and I would buy flowers. As Sara mentioned, there's a flower shop in the novel that's owned by Chantel. And I would get a pastry or get a coffee and sit and read and just sort of chill. And so this neighborhood became kind of, over the past decade, kind of mythic in my mind, because I felt so at peace there, and I loved the people that I saw there. So yeah, that neighborhood it's there. You can go. There's a bistro actually that I kind of based Jacques' bistro after, called Fontaine de Mars, which is a fantastic place to go and have classic French food. I try to go there every time I go to Paris. And there's also like wonderful patisseries. And actually, so if you're trying to, get your location, if you go to the American Library in Paris, that's right in the heart of that neighborhood. And it actually is featured in the book as well.
one of our very colorful characters, Prosper, is a Frenchman working at the American Library. And I just have to say, I love this entire cast of characters. Like Danielle, I have never wanted to move to Paris until I read this book. And I was like, I just want to be friends with these people. I want to hang out at Augusta's house and help them investigate. She is, of course, our detective leading this band of neighborhood detectives, who is a former retired detective who now is afraid to leave her home, but running the investigation from inside of her palatial, beautiful, very French museum-like house. Chantal, the flower selling, sexy, high heel wearing, opinionated, florist of the neighborhood. Oh my God, I love all of these people so much, and I just am so excited. And also, this book makes me very, very hungry. Oh, Renee, you're reading my mind. First of all, saying hi from Southeast Florida. Hi, Renee. And she would like to know, Danielle, what is your favorite food in Paris? Yes, tell us. You've given us the cannelé recipe, but what's your favorite food?
That is a very hard one because my favorite food changes all the time. And also, like, I'm going to lots of different restaurants and bistros and ice cream shops and things. So when I'm there, I always gain about 10 pounds. But I like classic French food. There's a bistro that I went to last summer called Le Bon Georges. And I had the most incredible meal. I had a classic roasted French chicken, right? Like, you think of that as like so simple, but the way that they roast it is just delicious. And then I love, do you know, I don't know if you've ever had the Sara, a gratin dauphinois. It's like layers of potatoes with cream and
cream.
cheese.
Is there cheese in there too?
There's cheese in there too.
Oh my God.
And it's very, very decadent, and you kind of roll away from the table after you've eaten it. I love that's, when I go to Paris, I don't want to be worrying about what I'm eating. So I just eat everything.
Renee would like to know, where is this? Where can we find this amazing place?
So it's La Bon, BON, GEORGES, George, and they have a fantastic Instagram account. Actually, I know, we're probably all on Instagram, and you can find them there. I forget the arrondissement that they're in. It's on the right bank. However, it's sort of a walk. It's past Opera. If you go like to the Opera Garnier, it's like off to the side of that. So not far, but you can find it if you just type in Le Bon Georges, and you'll definitely find the location. It's a really popular restaurant. If you're going to Paris, make a reservation and definitely try it. It's so good.
Oh my God. Okay. Is anyone else getting really, really hungry?
We're booking a trip. We're going to book a trip to Paris.
Oh my God. Oh my God. A group trip to Paris. Okay. Randy is saying, I've always wanted to go to Paris. My wife has been there and I've always been so jealous. Randy, this is your chance to vamoose, to bon voyage, and head over there. Margaret saying the Tuileries. What is La Tuileries? Tell us.
No, so that's the park. That's the part I recommend it.
Perfect.
She's saying it's fancy, and I agree. It's kind of fancy. It's in front of, it's one of those places that it's been there for a long time. And it used to be when, lovers wanted to meet and not get caught, they would meet in the Tuileries after dark. So.
L'amour. Oh my gosh.
L'amour, Paris. It has to have lots of l'amour.
Oh my God. Okay, perfect. So Danielle, as you started out by saying, your last two books have been thrillers. So we spoke with you, which was so fun, for both the Puzzle Master and the Puzzle Box, which were, I loved both of those books. And of course, the Puzzle Box won the LA Times Book of the Year. Huge congratulations. Tell us why you always wanted to write a golden age whodunit mystery. Were you just challenging yourself as a writer? Were you feeling the time is right now? Or what was give us the impetus behind that?
There were a couple of reasons. One is that when I'm going on vacation, right? When I'm going away from the world, the thing that I want to read is that. Like, I love whodunits. I love classic mysteries. I love contemporary mysteries that are somewhat cozy, meaning not necessarily 100% cozy, but that, that there's elements kind of seductive elements in them, meaning like there's either food or some exotic place, or there's, you know, some sort of situation in the murder that makes you want to just like know more about that world. And so those are the books that I read. And I was at a point in my life, the past couple of years have been very intense. I've been writing a lot of books. I've published 3 books in the last like 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
And have just been feeling a little bit exhausted. And I thought, you know, I want to write something that's fun for me to write, fun for people to read, and something that brings me to a place where I feel like it's actually an escape to write this book. So you know, that was the inspiration for it. I just wanted to write something that I loved.
Oh my God. So it's everything you're saying resonates so deeply with me. I am so very deeply tired, like down to the marrow of my bones, not just because I am always taking on too much and doing too much. Oh, thank you for all the hearts on Facebook, you guys. I see this is resonating with you. But because the world is hard and wearying right now. And I think for me, I seek comfort in the pages of a comforting book. And I totally understand what you're saying. I love this.
Yeah, I think we need to give ourselves a moment of pleasure and pause, right? Like where we just take what reading is supposed to be fun, right? It should never feel like work. And so, yeah, I hope that people, when they read this book, can just really escape the world for a little while.
Oh my God. Giving readers a moment of pleasure and pause is exactly what I need. And that sounds like something that Chantal would say. Which is also something I want to talk to you about, which is that I think that this book is very funny. Chantal is very funny. She is not trying to be, but she is. And the way that you write about both French and American cultures with such a deep knowledge and reverence, but also irreverence for both is so freaking funny, Danielle. I have laughed out loud so many times as I was reading an advanced copy of this. Then I have paused and reread it. And then I will say to my husband, not only you have to listen to this, it's so freaking funny. And it's like, it's joyful to read. Renee is saying, yes, she resonates with this. Exactly. You feel this, Renee, right? And also the way I also am underlining parts about, you know, usually it's Chantal saying like, live, not just work, but like enjoy life, enjoy beauty, enjoy food, enjoy, you know, I love this book so much. And I just wish I could dive in and, you know, live there. Oh my God. Robin saying, yes, the world is hard. Thank goodness for good books, good friends, and gardening coming alive. Oh God, yes, all of that, Robin. Thank you.
Yes.
You guys, I want to remind you that we are launching this really cool pre-launch campaign tonight. So you've always, my Mavens, my OG Mavens, you guys know that if you order with Murder by the Book from watching one of our episodes, I send you a book plate. But this is the very first time that we are launching our pre-order campaign. Of course, we are launching with none other than New York Times bestselling author Danielle Trussoni, aka Postel-Vinay. And you will get this book swag. So here again is that link to, if you're still thinking about it, I want to give you the link again. And while everyone is ordering, and again, it's going to come, you're not going to get it separately. It's going to come the signed Mystery and Thriller Maven book plate, the recipe card with Danielle's secret cannelé de Bordeaux recipe, which I've never made cannelés. I'm very excited to try. And also the matched wine and cheese pairing, because Danielle, you know quite a bit about wine, actually.
Yeah, yes, I do. Actually, before I jump into that, I just want to say those book plates, Sara, are beautiful. Like, so everyone, like, it's not just the book, like getting that book plate that Sara designed is really special. So if you appreciate Sara, get it and then take a picture of it, put it on Facebook and on Instagram because it's really.
Danielle, thank you. Merci beaucoup, mon ami.
Of course. So yes, I know. So I was really interested in wine for a long time. I did a lot of wine tasting in France and elsewhere, and did a lot of studying about the kinds of wine that goes well with certain foods, for example. And so, yeah, I was really interested in wine. And so, but then I developed, like, this is the story behind the story.
Tell us
I
the story.
developed an allergy, a really strong allergy to alcohol right around 2020, like right around COVID. I didn't get COVID. I don't think it happened because of COVID, but it did happen coincidentally around that time that when everybody else was drinking wine by the case, I could drink zero. It's a very difficult moment in my life.
Right
And
when
so,
you needed it the most.
right when I needed it the most. And so I think Olivia, who's this sommelier who's lost her sense of taste, there, for me, writing about her was a way to sort of metabolize or think about that experience for me. And one thing that happens to her in the book is that she's constantly around, delicious food and wine,
Mm.
and everyone enjoying these, decadent, pleasurable experiences, but she can't taste. So
Ah,
it's like she's looking in to a world that she can't experience, which is really painful for her. And so her journey, like through the book, basically, other than becoming friends with all these fantastic people that Sara mentioned, her journey and like what she learns is really how to find her place in a world that was tasteless for a while for her, like to find beauty and pleasure and all of the things that she had lost.
oh,
So yeah, that all comes out of a sort of personal experience. It's still hard for me to be at a dinner where everyone's drinking wine and I'm not.
oh, well, so all of what to say is that when you get these matched wine and cheese pairings, they are selected with care and intention by someone who is a wine connoisseur. I love that. Now, you guys know from all of my posts how much I love this book and how much I love Danielle, but maybe you're thinking, that's Sara, kind of a liar. You don't have to take my word for it. Nita Prose, who is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of the Maid series, also weighing in with some fabulous praise. She calls this book a delectably fun murder mystery set against the sumptuous backdrop of Paris. And Nita is not the only one raving. Ellery Adams weighing in with this praise. I'm going to pop it up so we can all say Ellery saying, uno momento, por favor. That's Italian mermaid. With Murder Most Delicious, Danielle Postel-Vinay serves a mystery as warm, cozy, and satisfying as a flaky croissant paired with a cafe au lait. Ooh la la, perfection. Readers will want to dwell in Ms. Postel-Vinay's Parisian neighborhood long after they have finished reading. It is so full of heart. Oh, thanks for all the hearts, you guys. That even murder cannot diminish its charm. I loved that review from Ellery. And also, we also have praise here from Jen McKinley. She is the New York Times bestselling author of Booking for Trouble. And I want to just share what she wrote as well. She said, I liked this because she said, Danielle Postel-Vinay has crafted a mystery as effervescent as fine champagne. And the reason I want to talk about this, I'm just going to pop it up briefly because it's going to cover our faces, is because champagne actually plays a very pivotal role in the book. So Danielle, there's a rare bottle of champagne that plays a pivotal role in this book that I learned champagne can't really be stored because of the effervescence, but this one was lost in a shipwreck. Is that a true story, or did you imagine that?
Yeah, no, that's a true story. One thing about the way that I write is that everything is real usually, except for like, the shipwreck happened in the Napoleonic era.
My God.
And I think, if I remember correctly, Napoleon was sending a whole cargo of champagne to Imperial Russia. And it was a mixture of things, but there was Veuve Clicquot and a bunch of champagne houses that no longer exist because this was 200 150 years ago or whatever. But anyway, it sunk just in the waters, freezing cold waters near Finland. And everyone thought it was lost. And then I think maybe 20 years ago, there was, with new technology and people diving, they found it and they pulled up this wine, and it was the oldest bottles of champagne in existence, because you're right, they can't really survive that long in a cellar. They needed the freezing cold water and the pressure to stay that way. And so a couple of those bottles have been opened and tasted. And so I read the tasting notes for those bottles. It just sounds kind of amazing to me.
I wonder I was thinking to myself, because you talk about how it's in a bottle that we would not recognize today as a champagne bottle.
Right.
Oh
They're
my
kind
God.
of ugly bottles, these old ones. They were like hand-blown brown glass, right? So like now champagne bottles are these sort of gorgeous, curvy things with, bright labels. But then they were just like, old brown bottles.
Renee wants to know, I'm wondering too, did it taste okay? I wonder what it tasted like. I mean,
so some of the bottles that they opened did not taste okay, but some of them did. And the ones that did not taste like your typical champagne. If I remember correctly, some of the tasting notes it was almost caramely, like it was heavier. It was, it had been aged to such a point that it was not light and effervescent. It was a darker wine. If anyone, I'm not saying that it tastes like a Sauterne, but a Sauterne is like a heavy dessert wine. That's a white wine that has that sort of deeper taste. I imagine that there may have been notes of those.
Maybe Alan, at least notes of seawater.
Notes of seawater. Some of them, yeah. Hey, thanks, Natalie. Yeah, some of them did actually have notes of seawater. I like that picture. Is that Pigaloo?
That's sweet little Pigaloo. Danielle, but maybe that's just how they made champagne back then. Maybe what we recognize of champagne is not champagne. Maybe it was heavier back then. Or do you think it was the aging?
I think that it was also different. Yeah, there were different methods. They used a lot more sugar. This is another reason that it actually was able to survive that long, is that the taste for champagne in the 19th century, in the early 19th century, people liked it very sweet. So it was a lot. There was, I think, 3 times as much sugar in champagne then. So, but that's also why it survived, and why when people drink it now, they can drink it, because, the sugar was oxidizing and keeping it from going bad all of those years. So yeah, there were different tastes for sure.
Oh my God, this is so interesting. Danielle, you received a starred review from Library Journal. Congratulations on that. Library Journal praising your luscious descriptions of French food, puzzling plot, and joyful celebration of the French way of life. And happiness, saying with a generous dash of wry wit and abundance of éclat, Postel-Vinay has fashioned a très charmant cozy mystery. Congratulations on your starred review of that.
Thank you.
They are not the only ones raving. Kirkus calling it tantalizing, that will make you want to book a trip to Paris. I know that's true for me. I've been looking for tickets. Booklist also weighing in, talking about your ability to write from multiple points of view. So I was wondering, I know who my favorite character is, Chantal. Who is yours?
I love Chantal too, but I have a soft spot for Prosper. I think I like Prosper because Prosper has a very interesting point of view. Like, he's someone who is like extraordinarily anti-capitalist, but he's the only one in the book who really is working all the time. And he kind of does all this stuff to, like, he's very funny. I find him very funny. I love Chantal too. Chantal is one of my favorites. And then Augusta. Augusta is kind of the heart of the book. She's the detective. And as Sara mentioned, Augusta Dupin has agoraphobia. So she used to be very, sort of a star in her field. And then she's stuck at home, which, as a device in the book, I thought it really helped because it made everyone in the neighborhood have to come to her.
Oh, I love that. Also Prosper. I think it just is so funny. Again, Prosper because he's a Frenchman working at the American Library, and he is, which is in itself the sort of central contrast of the book. You know, an American in France, an American in Olivia Beech, American in Paris. Prosper, Frenchman working at the American Library, and a very irreverent and loving look at both French and American culture. But I love how we're in Prosper's point of view, and he's thinking like, oh, the Americans drink coffee to make them more productive, and Chantel is like, but why would you drink something to make you more productive instead of just for the joy and the pleasure of drinking coffee? And I was like, I laughed. Oh my god, it's just so funny and so true because you know here we are, these over caffeinated. I think I was on my fourth coffee of the day. You know, over caffeinated Americans working as fast as we can, and there's Chantal, you know, sitting and sipping and just like loving life. And it just was so funny, and I loved.
Yeah, I think that conversation in the book came about because they had watched someone get a coffee to go.
Oh, to go. That's right. Because they don't have that to go.
And they don't really do that. I mean, Starbucks does that, of course, but like normal French places don't do that. And so all of the characters started talking about like, well, why would somebody want to do that? Oh, because they're taking it to work. But why would they take their coffee to work? So they can be caffeinated, so they can be more productive. And it was, yeah, I think that, I mean, I have sat in, so my French family has conversations, not exactly like this, but there's a lot, I'm a very peculiar person for them because Americans are so different in their minds, and they're very peculiar to me too, right? So there's this fascination whenever we're all together, like we're exchanging stories and I'm listening, and so a lot of those conversations, there's many conversations like that in the book that sort of like contrast American ways of seeing things and French ways of seeing things. And a lot of those ideas came about when I was in France with my French family.
Oh my God. I love that. Yeah, exactly. Why would you take it to go? You must stay and enjoy, no? It's so true. Margaret saying we really need to reverse the curse of a ubiquitous disposable to go cups. Just take the time to say it. Exactly. Or if you must go, bring your own cup. BYOC. Like I just went to support a little local coffee shop and I bring my own cup because I don't want to pollute the world with another plastic cup. Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys, Danielle also got incredible reviews from First Clue, Paula Woods, the Montecito Journal, and so many more. So we can't get to all of them because there's too many fabulous ones, but I'm putting them in the comments so that you can peruse them at your own leisure. French style, slow and enjoying it. But I do just want to say one more time that Danielle is coming on tonight with us to give us the exclusive sneak peek and take all of your most burning questions. And you can pre-order tonight only through our favorite woman-owned independent bookstore, Murder by the Book, and get Mystery and Thriller Mavens and Murder Most Delicious swag. So again, the signed beautiful book plates with the custom hand-drawn logo from the artist who designed my logo, and as well as Danielle's secret Cannelé de Bordeaux recipe and her matched wine and cheese pairings. So that will come with your beautiful book. And here again is the link to pre-order. Danielle,
so people who are not here and able to click the link, if they're like on Instagram and they're seeing this, they can just go to Murder by the Book and find the page, right?
Yes. And you can just put in Murder Most Delicious. And it will come up and you will get this delicious swag. So just go to Murder by the Book and type in Murder Most Delicious. Danielle, thank you so much for coming on to give us the inside scoop about Murder by Most Delicious. And thank you all, my Mystery and Thriller Mavens, for spending your Monday with us. I hope your week is off to a killer start. May the days and the pages fly by. And I will be back with you next Monday. And Danielle will be back with us next book.
Thanks, Sara.
Merci beaucoup. Okay, au revoir, everyone. Au revoir.